Hey everybody, what's going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. In this video, I want to compare two popular fish attractants, put them head to head in a real fishing scenario, and see which one catches the most fish. Now, if you've ever been exposed to the fishing industry or the fishing scene in general, you have no doubt heard about or seen these products right here. These are synthetic sprays, usually, that are advertised that if you spray them on your lure, they will in turn make your lure more attractive to bass and other game fish. Now, I made a whole video diving into the science of scent and how it applies to bass fishing. You can check it out up in the cards. That'll give you more of a scientific explanation as to whether or not these work. I know for a fact these do help in certain scenarios, but my question is, which one of these is better? So today I want to take these two popular brands, put them head to head in a fishing scenario, and see which one comes out on top. The first bait I chose for this experiment right here is the Strike King Coffee Scent. This is an aerosol can that sprays a fine mist of delicious smelling coffee scent. It actually smells like a cup of coffee, which is really weird, and it kind of makes me hungry every time I smell this stuff or anytime I open up a pack of Strike King lures. This is advertised as having real coffee bean oils, which should help attract the fish. There's also a little bit of weird phrasing on the back of this thing. It says, add coffee scent to your plastics to bring them back to life, which implies that your plastics were alive and somehow they died, and by putting this on them, you'll bring them back to life, which is a little weird because plastic lures have never been alive, and I don't think spraying this on them will bring them back to life. So the advertising's a little weird on this thing, but I'm curious to see if this actually helps. I've heard for years that coffee scent actually attracts fish, so I'm eager to see how this performs. The next fish attractant that I'm going to be using today is this stuff right here, if my camera ever focuses. There we go. This is the Gulp Alive Nightcrawler Spray. This stuff is in a little different can, and it sprays kind of a jet. I don't want to hit my camera, but it sprays kind of a jet out there. Smells a little weird, a little funky. Kind of smells like worms, slightly. Not as good smelling as the coffee scent, but I'm not a fish, so I don't really know what smells good to a fish. I can say without a doubt that this is by far my favorite fish attractant right here, the Berkley Gulp line of products. I use a lot of their lures, and their lures come pre-packaged with this scent baked in, and I gotta say, I've had great success with Berkley Gulp. Berkley Gulp products are about as close to live bait as you can get. So I am a little bit biased towards Berkley Gulp, honestly, because it's such a versatile product, but I've never really used the spray. Like I said, Berkley Gulp products are packaged in their own scent, but spraying this spray on a random lure that has not been infused with it, I'm curious to see how that works. They say you can spray this stuff on soft baits, on crankbaits, and on spinners, so they're claiming that this stuff obviously sticks to anything and will leave a nice scent trail. My main goal for this experiment is to see if you put two identical baits in the water side by side and each one smells different, will the fish prefer one bait over the other? One thing I want to specify before I get into this experiment is I am not a scientist, and this is not a scientific test, okay? There's a lot of variables involved in testing like this, and you almost need lab conditions in order to make a definitive answer. However, I am curious to see if I put two identical baits in the water side by side and each one has a different scent on it, will the fish prefer one bait over the other? And that is what we are planning on doing today. Alright, so this is the rig that I came up with right here. It's just a simple wire rig. As you can see, there's two wires right here. At the end of each side of the wire, there is a bit of monofilament and the same little bait right here. I'm using these little hair jigs because I feel like the hair will absorb a lot of the liquid and hold the scent a little longer than a plastic. I got one on this side, and of course I have one on this side. Now, I tried to keep everything the same, the exact same line on this rig, the exact same spacing apart from one another. It's as close as I could get it. So yeah, I'll be able to present two baits at the exact same time, side by side. Each one's gonna have a different scent, obviously, and hopefully we'll be able to see some results. Got one. There we go. Little bass on the double rig here. First fish on the rig, guys. Okay, this one hit the Berkley Gulp right here. Choked that little jig. Boofity boof. Nice fish. Let's put him back. A lot of bluegill flopping around near the shore nesting. Not seeing a ton of bass. Little frogs. There we go. Fish. Got one. Oh, come on. That was a crappie. This rig is slightly challenging to fish with because it wants to get all tangled up. There we go, fish. Right by the bank. All right, another little bass. This one hit the markered side, so this one hit the coffee scent. This is the first really good bite I've had on the coffee scent, which is cool. Nice little bass right there. Let him go. I'm gonna go ahead and re-scent these real quick This one is the Berkley Gulp, hose it down. And this one is the coffee scent, hose it down. All right, there we go, got one. It's a bass. And this one hit the coffee scent again. All right, the GoPro was turned off, but I just caught this beautiful little black crappie right here. And this one also hit the coffee scent. Very interesting. See you, buddy. Major storm coming in here. Can I fish in peace, please? All I want to do is make a video. Ah! Rain! Go away! Come again some other day! Little Johnny wants to fish or play or whatever. All right, back out on the pond after the rain has let up. There we go, fish. Another little bass on the double rig, and this one hit the Berkley Gulp. There we go. Got him. I got him. I got another fish, another bass. Got another one here. This one is on the Berkley Gulp. Okay, so now I'm seeing a trend towards the Berkley Gulp, whereas before I was seeing a trend towards the coffee scent. Is there any crappie out there? Oh, got one. Got one. I think this is a crappie. What is this? Oh, another bass. Okay, this one, it was on the coffee scent. Very, very strong, whereas the Berkley Gulp is not so much. It's a little more of a subtle flavor. Oh, there was a bass right there. There's a bass. Hit it again, dude. There we go. Whoa, he hit that bait instantly. I'm curious to see which one he chose. The Berkley Gulp absolutely hammered that bait. There was almost no question. He was right on it as soon as he hit the water. He hit it once and I missed him, but I put that bait back in the water and he saw that bait and he, boom, went right for it. I got one. I got one. This one is on the Berkley Gulp. Just caught another bass right here. Didn't have the GoPro rolling, but this one came off the Berkley Gulp. Got one. Another one. Another bass. Okay, this one came off the coffee scent. There we go, fish. Another bass. All right, buddy, chill. Still got spots on her. This one came off the Berkley Gulp right there. Beautiful. Alrighty guys, as you saw from those clips, I was able to catch a number of bass on this rig. I gotta say, the rig is very annoying to use because the lines were always getting tangled up in the rig somehow, and if you hooked the slightest amount of weed on any part of the rig, the whole rig would be pretty much useless. So it was a little bit challenging fishing with it, but I kind of got the hang of it, and we actually did catch a number of fish. In total, we caught 12 fish. I have crunched the numbers, so to speak. Not that there's a lot of numbers to crunch. But the results were interesting. So, the coffee scent. I caught a total of 5 fish on the coffee scent, 4 of them bass and 1 crappie. The Berkley Gulp, I caught a total of 7 fish, all bass. So the Berkley Gulp outfished the coffee scent by almost 2 fish. Now that is a very, very small margin. And I don't think it's enough to definitively say that one scent is particularly better than the other. Keep in mind, this is not a scientific test. This is just a fun experiment. I wanted to see what would happen if I put 2 baits in the water side by side and each one had a different scent. Would there be any difference between the two? And there was a slight difference between the two, so take that for what it's worth. I feel like this test could be a lot more scientific if the baits weren't moving. If I was going to fish like 2 bobbers right next to each other where the baits were just sitting in the water and the only thing working for the bait was smell, not the action. If you guys want to see that experiment, let me know. I could probably figure out a way to do this a little bit more scientifically. Like I said, this is just for fun. I thought it was very interesting nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more experiment-like videos like this, like the one I did where I put lures in a jar of water for a month, and experiments like this where I compare scents side by side, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. There are some affiliate links down there, and if you click those, I get a little bit of kickback, and it helps me to keep making videos. Also, be sure to check out the first episode of a new series on my channel called Fish Fight. It's kind of like the Fish Off series that I did, except it's a little bit better produced, and we're going to be doing a number of consecutive episodes, me against my brother, to see who comes out on top. It was a really fun series to shoot, and be sure to check that out. We'll link it down in the description as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.